After finally realizing that Superior Spider-Man isn't Peter, the Avengers begin planning on how to take him down. Meanwhile, Otto finds himself in a New York that is turned upside down by the Goblin army Norman has been developing this whole time. He therefore pulls up to confront the Goblin alongside many other villains that were in the Goblin's home base. But Norman reveals that he knows that Spider-Man is Otto Octavius, as he then offers him to team up with each other. But Otto turns it down, ultimately making the Goblin destroy the entirety of the Spider Island, leaving him with no choice but to escape to Parker Industries, trying to develop a cure for the Goblin disease. And while the Goblin is destroying every last spot of New York, we see that Peter has just been lost and broken ever since he woke up to help Otto detach from the symbiote in the last part, until he came with an idea to dive into Otto's mind and relive all of his key memories till he reaches the point where this entire story began. And from there on, Peter regained his mind and memories, giving him the ability to talk to Otto, where Otto was just shameful and in regret over doing all of this, wishing that he never did it. And so to redeem himself, he heads to his lab to give Peter his body back and finally admit that Pete really is the Superior Spider-Man, as Peter then wakes up in his own body, shedding a tear and putting on his original suit and ready to end this once and for all. He finds out that the Goblin cure has been made and therefore quickly takes it and swings out to check if his loved ones are safe. He then went ahead to join the Avengers and Spider-Man 2099 to ultimately take down the Goblin Empire, which confused them a bit because he finally started acting normal for some reason. Miguel and Pete then tracked down one of the Goblins all the way until they were met by Normie and Miguel's grandpa, who would try killing them using a device but fails due to Miguel stopping them. Pete then heads out after Norman, who was yapping about how this will be Otto's biggest failure. However, Pete makes a joke about his purse, ultimately making Norman realize that Otto is gone and that this is the one and only Peter Parker. Spider-Man then webs himself to Norman and then unmasks him, only to see that Norman had changed his face to look like someone else. He then commands the Spider-Bots filled with the Goblin cure to attack Norman and go all over him, as Pete then swings away to save Otto's love, Anna Maria. And so the story ends with the Goblin going back to his old base to retreat and come up with a new plan, while Pete rushed to meet the people he loves but was definitely getting mixed reactions.